Accusing Dr. Joel Kahn of being responsible for this is just as stupid as accusing the janitor at the bank of financial malfeasance that involves the relationship between that bank and, say, the federal government. Do you think Dr. Joel Kahn controlled the financial relationship between Beaumont Hospital and Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE? This has as little to do with Dr. Joel Kahn's behavior as the behavior of a bank has to do with the janitor who's there at the front end of the bank cleaning the floor. It is definitely less dramatic and less entertaining to simply start by establishing the facts of the case, but let's go ahead and do that. This will show you exactly what it was that Jeff Nelson was choosing to ignore, what he was misleading the audience about, or what he was intentionally lying about. This is an article that's very easily found by Googling around from the Detroit Free Press. Detroit Free Press is a mainstream newspaper in Detroit. This is not some kind of obscure or difficult to find source. Quote, "The improper pay arrangements outlined in the settlement concerned Beaumont's billing to Medicare." Beaumont is the name of the institution. It's the name of the hospital. Okay, Beaumont is not a person. Okay, so the allegations concerned people presumably in like the accounting department or at some executive level of the institution billing Medicare and TRICARE inappropriately. Okay, this allegation, the nature of the allegation, the investigation, and the settlement has absolutely nothing to do with Dr. Joel Kahn. He is not implicated. It is not even possible that he is responsible morally for what happened in this situation, no more than if you have a bank account and there were allegations that the bank did something improper, ethically, morally, or in terms of accounting. Your name could, in theory, come up in the article. It could even be that your bank account was somehow used, right? Like somehow they used paperwork that had your name on it. But you are not implicated in the crime. There's no allegation, there's no insinuation, there's no possibility that you committed the crime. You just had a bank account there, okay? Again, let's just quote this. This is only one sentence long. The improper pay arrangements. Okay, pause. Do you think Dr. Joel Kahn controlled the pay arrangements at Beaumont Hospital? Do you think Dr. Joel Kahn controlled the financial relationship between Beaumont Hospital and Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE? The improper pay arrangements outlined in the settlement concerned Beaumont's billing to Medicare, Medicaid, and TRICARE, making the arrangements potential violations of the Federal Stark Law, Anti-Kickback Statute, and False Claims Act. Accusing Dr. Joel Kahn of being responsible for this is just as stupid as accusing the janitor at the bank of financial malfeasance that involves the relationship between that bank and, say, the federal government. They're reporting to the federal government. It is not plausible that the janitor had anything to do with it, that morally or criminally the janitor was making decisions that were decisive in that. Okay? Even if, it's possible the janitor's name comes up in the investigation. It's possible his name is on some paperwork because he does work there. Okay? Given this, and again, Jeff Nelson, it is not possible that he didn't know this. He describes himself as a journalist, as an investigative journalist. We have to hold him to that standard. Jeff Nelson, Vegsource, this is not forgivable as mere ineptitude on your part. And Jeff, you have already revealed that you have a bias, that you have an agenda. You have already revealed that you hate this guy because you alleged he, quote-unquote, was a creep in flirting with your daughters. And I believe you vaguely stated with other, quote-unquote, young women. Your daughters are 27. Your daughters are 27 and constantly broadcast on the internet that they're single, looking for a boyfriend, looking for a man, looking for somebody to get them pregnant and have kids with. Constantly. Your daughters did an interview with PCRM, with men in lab coats from PCRM. They did a podcast, and out of the blue, they bring up for that podcast, hey, they're single and they're looking for a man. Okay? If it is like, of course, with Jeff Nelson, he's such an insincere person. I give his claims about Dr. Joel Kahn being a creep towards his daughter, I give them no credence. I think they have no credibility. But if it were true that Dr. Joel Kahn had some kind of flirtatious or casual conversation with your daughters about them being single or trying to find a boyfriend, how could that possibly be inappropriate? She just had, your daughter, sorry, there are two of them. Your two daughters just had a stupid, pointless, flirty conversation with the medical doctors at PCRM on a medical science podcast about it. They bring it up on their YouTube channel, they bring it up all the time. Okay? But you have revealed that you, as a quote-unquote journalist, as a so-called investigative journalist, Jeff Nelson, that you have an agenda against this guy, that you're not being fair and neutral and reasonable, and there is no excuse for the allegation, the criminal allegation you made against Dr. Joel Kahn. Okay? One more quotation here from Detroit Free Press, same newspaper article. The settlement, which covered alleged behavior from 2004-2012. To be clear, this is the behavior of the hospital. So this would concern either like executive levels of the hospital or the accounting department. I mean, it's just referring to the hospital as an institution. This has nothing to do with the behavior of Dr. Joel Kahn. It has as little to do with Dr. Joel Kahn's behavior as the behavior of a bank has to do with the janitor who's there at the front end of the bank cleaning the floor and washing the windows, okay? Alleged behavior from 2004 to 2012 was prompted by 4 whistleblower complaints, the first from a world-renowned neuroscientist. The whistleblowers identified numerous Beaumont doctors and administrators, yet none of the 3 doctors were accused of wrongdoing in the whistleblowers' lawsuits against Beaumont, against the hospital, against the institution, which were unsealed last week. The settlement agreement stated that Beaumont knowingly had improper arrangements with all 8 doctors. They were shocked to hear that they were identified as wrongdoers. The 3 doctors' attorney, Martin Crandall of Clark Hill in Detroit, said Thursday, the essence of the whistleblower complaint is that there were freebies given to doctors. None of them got any of these alleged freebies, yet they end up in the settlement agreement. Okay? Well, why are we here on the internet, people? Why are we here? I mean, I have no special effects. I have no lighting crew. I have no interns. There's no plot. There's no plot twist coming up here, okay? If we are not on the internet to tell the truth, get the fuck off the internet, okay? Jeff Nelson, at this point, in the year 2020, you're an old man, you're retired. Why are you in the vegan movement? If it is not for the progress, for the brighter future, for the betterment of the vegan movement, get the fuck out of the vegan movement.